Top 10 Most Expensive Restaurants Around the World. Food, one of the three most basic essentials of human existence, right alongside water and oxygen. Our entire world revolves around food, not just because it keeps us alive, but because it also makes us really happy. Restaurants are upping their game every day, and chefs are pushing the limits of their creativity in equally spectacular fashion. The upper end of the food scene is moving so quickly, and the dishes are reaching new heights of progression, which also means new levels of exclusivity. Taking a peek into this world of extraordinary cuisine can require seriously deep pockets, and the restaurants on this list are among some of the dearest. Incredible service, fine wines, and Michelin stars. Welcome to the top 10 most expensive restaurants around the world. One, Osteria Francescana, Moderna. Osteria Francescana is the love child of rule breaker chef Massimo Bottura, the celebrated Italian chef that focuses less on the trends and more on the reinvention of what Italian cooking is and can be. Osteria serves up a 12-course tasting menu that's influenced by art, Moderna, and Massimo's own childhood memories. For $320, you get taken on an unexpected journey through the inner workings of Massimo's rebellious mind. The dishes are spontaneous, provocative, unconventional, and yet they still fill you with the warming nostalgia distinct of traditional Italian cuisine. Now, you can add a wine flight for an extra $210 if that tickles your fancy, or order from the a la carte menu. Although, with mains starting at $110 a plate, you may as well stretch for the tasting if you're going to make the special trip. Osteria Francescana is not a socialite spot that's high price tag is for attracting the elite. It's a restaurant that serves hot cuisine just the way it should be. 2. 11 Madison Park, New York City. Next on our top 10 list, we have a restaurant that's food is in the top 1% of the top 1%. It is that good. 11 Madison Park is where New York foodies go to worship. With Daniel Hum heading up the brigade, this French bistro-inspired dining room delivers farm-to-the-fork cuisine that's cleaner than a pair of box-fresh Nikes. With 3 Michelin stars, 4 New York Times stars, and the proud owner of the 2017 Best Restaurant in the World award, Madison Park is not short on accolades, and this is certainly reflected in the prices. $335 will get you the 8 to 10 course seasonal tasting menu made up of both experimental dishes and staple classics. Now, their wine menu is thicker than a Bible, so if you're partial to a tipple, you may not be disappointed. 3. Alain Ducasse à Plaza, Alinea, France. Alain Ducasse is a big name amongst food lovers and those in the loop. This French-born superstar chef has opened 25 restaurants around the world and has been awarded a total of 21 Michelin stars over the span of his lengthy career. One of Ducasse's top restaurants, Plaza Alinea, is one of the finest and most beautiful in France, a country where there is a lot of competition. Plaza is as French as French gets and is a restaurant that celebrates the best of both garden vegetables and fresh seafood. At $440 for 3 half-size plates, cheese, and dessert, you would expect nothing less than perfection. The ethos of Restaurant Plaza is naturalness, so don't expect too many bells and whistles. 4. Noma Copenhagen. One of the most talked about restaurants in recent years, Noma is the pioneering restaurant of René Redzepi, a forward-thinking chef that has paved the way for new Nordic cuisine. René and his team of chefs aim to take the best of Danish ingredients and serve them in harmony with the seasons. Now, there are plenty of restaurants that claim to be seasonal, but at Noma, they really do mean it, going as far as dividing their booking calendar into 3 different seasons: game, vegetable, and seafood, during which the menus change drastically to match the season's best ingredients. Noma strongly advises vegetarians to only visit during vegetable season, as they are unable or unwilling to accommodate during the other 2 carnivorous times of the year. $395 gets you an unforgettable 3-hour experience of around 20 uniquely executed small plates. Expect to see an abundance of fermented fruits, wild mushroom teas, and even live ants. Masa New York. There can be no beating around the bush with this one. The cost of eating at this New York sushi restaurant will set you back $595, including tax. Masa is thought to be the best sushi restaurant outside of Japan, but even so, its crazy price tag puts it in the dangerous waters of being considered seriously overpriced. There is also a $150 supplement for the Wagyu beef course and $65 for truffle ice cream. So what's the deal? Why is this place so damn pricey? Chef Masa, owner and top chef, is a solid member of sushi royalty, training with the best and eventually becoming the best. So his New York restaurant opened its doors surrounded by a lot of hype. A-listers and Hollywood stars started flooding in, and before long, zeros started getting added to the bills. The sushi might be good, but it's the company that you'll be rubbing shoulders with that is dictating the inflated price tag. 6. Faviken Sweden. Being the most remote restaurant on this top 10 list, eating at Faviken requires a lot of planning and a special trip, even for local Swedes. Out in the sticks of the Swedish countryside, head chef and owner Magnus Nilsson invites guests for an overnight experience that explores ancient food traditions and lost recipes. If you haven't had the pleasure of dining at Faviken yet, then unfortunately, you're out of luck. As of December 2019, the restaurant closed its doors for the last time, although there are many hoping that the restaurant will reopen once Magnus has taken a well-deserved rest. The extravagant 30-course tasting menu will cost you $350, wine pairing a further $185, a double room $260, and breakfast $40. Now you can see why Faviken made it into this list despite its possible permanent closing. The cost aside, a meal at Faviken will not be one that is easily forgotten. And can you really put a price tag on such a unique experience? 7. The Fat Duck Berkshire. The Fat Duck is known as being one of the best restaurants in the UK and one of the most imaginative in the world. Heston Blumenthal, the mind behind the madness, puts on a show of 15 courses through a multi-sensory experience. He says that his traveling itinerary-inspired menu will take you on a nostalgic trip full of playful memories, curiosity, discovery, and adventure, all for just $420. And that's without the wine pairing that will set you back a further $200. The Fat Duck is one seriously pricey restaurant, but one look at the menu and you can't help but feel intrigued. Being one of the few restaurants to pull of themed storyline dining without coming across as a gimmick makes this a bucket list eating experience for many. 8. El Celler de Can Roca, Spain. Picture your local family restaurant. Add in some fancy furniture, posh tableware, and turn the food up to 10 on the wow scale. And turn the food up to 10 on the wow scale. And there you have it. El Celler de Can Roca. This stunning Spanish restaurant is run by 3 brothers, each with their own distinct roles. Joan the chef, Joseph the sommelier, and Jordi the pastry chef. Each brother is insanely talented and has had their restaurant crowned with the #1 restaurant in the world title on more than one occasion. El Celler de Can Roca must be the only restaurant in the world that has this level of dining, and yet it still feels like you're a part of the family when you enjoy your meal. The cost of the 30-course menu of small plates and bites costs $240, which for this caliber of dining almost seems cheap, but only almost. If you're lucky, you might also see the 3 brothers' mother cooking up the staff meal, as she apparently does so every day. 9. Alinea Chicago. Alinea in Chicago is at the forefront of experimental cooking and gastronomic progress, with head chef Grant Achatz completely reinventing what's possible in the kitchen. Voted the most creative chef in America, Grant offers 3 different menus and experiences: the kitchen table, the gallery, and the salon, each of which has its own price tag and approach. The kitchen table is a super intimate private dining experience that you and 5 other people can enjoy for $385 per person. This is where the most cutting-edge dishes are served in what Alinea describes as their highest dining expression. The gallery menu is a slightly more accessible option that can be had for between $290 and $355 per person, depending on the day of week. And finally, the salon menu, costing between $175 and $225 per person. This menu offers an amazing introduction to this level of dining and even includes many of the dishes from the more expensive options. Not the priciest on the list, but certainly one of the more justified. 10. Subliminal Ibiza. The final restaurant on this list almost didn't make it to our top 10 for 2 reasons. Number 1, the experience of dining at Subliminal is more like being inside a surreal piece of installation art than eating a meal at an actual restaurant. And number 2, the price of said experience costs so much that it's almost unbelievable. Subliminal is a collaborative venture between double Michelin-starred chef Paco Ranchero and a number of artists, filmmakers, and composers. The resulting outcome sees diners taking an active role in 20 mind-bending courses spread throughout different places, emotions, and moments in time. The modular pod-like dining room takes shape to suit every course being served, from ancient Chinese tea party to first-class plain food, air hostesses included. The Subliminal adventure costs $2,000 per person, making it by far the most expensive restaurant on this list, and in the world. That's it for today's top 10 list. What's the most expensive restaurant you've ever eaten in, and was it worth the splash of cash? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on that little bell icon to keep up to date with the latest from Eatable. See you next time!